This is the SoundFile view video, and I've got the SoundFile opened up huge. I like to do my editing this in the window this big. I'm like a brain surgeon doing brain surgery on a waveform. Okay, you can make this window this small, and that can come in handy. But I like it that big. Okay, if you left click in this area here above the level meter here, this box opens up, and as I drag or the waveform plays, it doesn't move, but as I drag, it moves. If you're one of those people that need these numbers, they're right there for you. SawStudio has everything. Okay. Next we have the full zoom, the incremental plus zooms, the incremental minus zooms, and the full zoom, full minus zoom. You can use your plus and minus keys on the keyboard over on the number pad. You can use the actual numbers on the number pad. Here's the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can always go right back. This is the way the wave file was recorded. This is the way it sits up in the multi-track. Next you have the up and down dB. Pretty understandable, right? That can come in handy when and the 0 brings it back to the default there, the way it was brought into the SoundFile view. That comes in real handy, and you can do it fast. You can go to full, you press the shift up key, page up key, right? Going deeper, shift up, down the sample level. Minus, look how far we were up. Holy smokes. Comes in handy. And of course, like I said, if you can use these, click these like that, or you can hold the shift key down and use the page up or page down. Okay, you can use the home key and the end key to move to the front or end of the wave file. You also can click anywhere in it to get around in it. Use the right arrow key or the left arrow keys. You know, it's very straightforward. And you notice that when you double click in the sound file, wherever you double click, that cursor is going to be put in the middle. I like that. I want to work on this section right here. I want to get in there. And watch, I'm pressing the right arrow key. The wave file moves rather than the cursor, and it keeps everything in the middle. I like that. Now this lock here, what does that lock do? Okay, I'm going to show you. Say I like this setting. For whatever reason, I hit that lock key. Now, anytime that I double click any of these regions into the sound file, they're going to be set at that wave, the setting that I have it at the zoom level here in the dB setting. See that? If I unlock it, now watch. See how that works? Straightforward and easy to understand. Now let's see here. we have a selected area here, and I can press the C key and it unselects it. How do you select areas? Well, you put the cursor where you want it and left click, mark the beginning, put the cursor where you want it, mark the end. Press the C key and the home key, and I'm at the beginning. Cleared it. Now I can also press the B key on the keyboard, and this is the beginning, and the E key, now this is the end. Okay. I also can left click down here in the timeline and select the areas. Now let's select this area here. Let's select this area right here, and we'll make a loop. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make a slice. Okay, I think that it starts right about there. Press the space bar, I can hear it. The cursor doesn't move when I'm down this low, or zoomed in there. It will move there. But okay, we're pretty close. Just move it right up to here. Maybe back a bit. Now I'm going to really zoom in there to show you something. Oh, I was lucky there. I was pretty close to 0. But say you're clicking right when you selected that your cursor was right about there. You do not want to make, let's clear that so you can see it better. You never want to make a slice right here on the waveform. You always want to make the slice where the waveform is at 0. So there's an easy way to do that. You can press the Z key, and SawStudio will make the appropriate selection, put the cursor in the proper area to give you the best possible slice. Here's the Z key. SawStudio says there. That's good enough for me. And this allows you to not have to zoom in all that way to find the proper splicing area. I can press the control key and the right arrow key, and I can go in between these two guys. The beginning, the end. This is the control key with the left arrow, the right arrow. Left arrow, right arrow. I'm going to get right in there. That should be it. I'm going to press the Z key. It just made it. I'm going to press the E key. Or I could just go up here and press end. Same thing. Now I've got a loop. Now I can play this loop easily with the the shift key, holding down the shift key and right clicking, and it will play it once. Spacebar will do the same thing. Shift key, spacebar. It plays the selected area once. Now if I hold in the control key, spacebar, it's going to loop just like that. And I can test out my loop right in the sound file. Well, I like that loop. It's good enough for me. Now, let me show you this. Here's a loop I made, and I want to get it up into the multi-track so I can put together my song. I have two options. I can press the N key on the keyboard. I got to have this highlighted. The N key, and it opens up a dialog box, and I can name it New 3, whatever I want to name it, and press Enter key, and now it created a region and put it in the regions box, and I can put this region into the multi-track like that. We went over that in the regions view video. Or I can come back down here and I can Alt left click and just drag it up and put it right there with another left click, and it's in the multi-track. Pretty impressive. Another thing you can do here, let's open this up, scrolling. I can grab the cursor and scroll, and I can also center the cursor by pressing the equal sign. Equal. Over here, equal puts the cursor in the middle. That can be very convenient. Now let's go into sample edit zoom mode. What is that? Let's zoom in full. Now if I zoom in further by pressing the incrementals, suddenly you see the actual samples represented by a square box. Use my plus key on my keyboard to get way in there. Now, any adjustments you make when you're in the sample edit zoom mode, which you know you're in when you see these boxes, is destructive. This is a destructive process. You cannot undo it. The only way to, well, you can undo it, but you have to manually undo it. So I'm in here and I've got a pop and I'm going to get rid of it. I just press the shift left click and the X, see the X, and I can move it. I had a pop. I'm just going to bring it down and smooth it out, and I'm done. If you do something that you don't like, then just, you don't have to move the cursor, because you can see where you're at. Go back down. That is the sample edit zoom mode. So that is the sound file view in SawStudio. You can also actually record in here, but we'll get into that when we record in the sound file video of recording the sound file. In the sound file, in the sound file view recording video. The sound file is a very powerful window, and you can edit to your heart's desire any waveform on this planet right here in the sound file view in SawStudio.